Coming up in this video, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 tips when you become a travel agent from home. Let's go. All right, everyone. My name is Jarrett-Jamal Davis from jarrettjamaldavis.com. And if you're new to the channel, on this channel, I create videos on a weekly basis with tips and strategies to help you create an income online so you can live the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of. Now, listen, if you didn't see my last video where I talked about how to become a travel agent from home, make sure you click that link in the description. I'll leave a link there so you can watch that video. Because listen, in that video, I'll talk about how to become a travel agent from home. So in this video, I actually want to give you those 5 tips on how to be successful when you first get started. But listen, if you're looking for a host agency, you haven't chosen one just yet, you can click that link in my description. I give you all the information about the host agency that I'm already working with. But let's go ahead and get into my 5 top tips that you need to get when you first get started with becoming a travel agent from home. And that first tip is actually going to be to write down your host agency's contact information. The reason why you want to write down that host agency's contact information is because there are different times where you're going to be, you're going to be registering for suppliers and you're going to be needing that information. So definitely when you first get started, write down your host agency's contact information. Write down their hours of operation so you'll know what time they're actually in the office if you ever have any questions and things of that nature. But definitely, that's the first tip. Listen, write down that contact information. Also, your host agency may supply you with an IATA number or a CLIA number. And these are the credentials that let the vendors and suppliers know that you are truly a travel agent and you are working with a host agency. So make sure you write those down. And of course, last but not least, make sure you write down your username and your password because of course you're going to need this to get inside of your website so you can take all of your travel agent training. Now that actually brings us to our next tip, which is to take your training videos. Listen, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I know you're ready to get off to the races. I know you're ready to start making that money. But listen, you need to go through and take your trainings. You need to take those trainings because the trainings are going to let you know what type of access you have, what type of tools that you have, so you can build the biggest travel business that you have in your dreams, that you want to do. So listen, make sure you take those training videos. Now, the next tip on the list is actually going to be to get registered with your preferred vendors. Now, this can vary. This can vary depending upon what type of vacations that you actually want to book and specialize in. But I would recommend at least getting registered with one cruise line and one vendor or supplier that you can actually book hotels and or resorts with. Now, that kind of brings us into the next tip, which is to get certified with the vendor. And the reason why I bring up getting certified with vendors is because, listen, there are so many different people who become travel agents and they become travel agents for different reasons, but they also want to specialize in certain vacations. Everybody doesn't want to book the same thing. So some people want to be cruise specialists, and you can do that with Carnival, Norwegian, the list just goes on for there. Some people want to be specialists that only book trips for the Caribbean. You know, some people only want to be Disney specialists and book vacations for Disney cruises or just to go to Disney World. And you have the right to book whatever you want to because, again, this is going to be your travel business. But you want to get certified with those vendors. So if your host travel agency actually gives you access, make sure you go back there in the back office, click on those links to become specialists with the particular vendors that you're selecting. And when I say become a specialist, what you'll understand is, your host agency is going to have a basic training. So you'll know how to use the access and the tools that come with this host agency. But beyond that, The vendors have their own specialized training that you can take to become certified with that vendor. And you're going to get deep training on how to book better vacations with that vendor, how to specialize, how to have all of the information for that vendor and the destinations that you are trying to book. Now, the next thing, or we should say the next tip on the list, is going to be to set up your personalized website and your social media channels. Because what I want you to understand is after you go through everything, after you go through all of your training, this is the time where you're going to get ready to start marketing your business, marketing your travel deals, letting people know that, hey, I'm a travel agent and I can actually help you with your vacations. So now you want to go ahead and set up your personalized website and social media channels. I don't know, maybe you're using Instagram, maybe you're using TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. But listen, the pro tip is when it comes to setting up your social media channels, start off with the social media account that you're already on. So if you're already using Facebook, if you're already using Instagram, if you're already using TikTok, start there because you're already familiar with the platform, you know how it works, and now you're just putting that awareness out that you can actually help people with their destinations. So listen, those are my top 5 tips when you get started as a travel agent from working home. But again, listen, if you haven't become a travel agent just yet and you need more information, or you're just looking for a host agency, you can click the link in my description. And again, I'll send you a free video that'll give you all of the information for the host agency that I'm currently working with. And if you have any questions, they'll have some links to get directly in contact with me. But other than that, question of the day: when are you going to start your travel agent journey? Go ahead and put that in the comment section below. And other than that, stay tuned because in the next video, I'm going to be talking about how to make the money. So again, subscribe to the channel, guys, because I put these videos out on a weekly basis with tips and strategies to help you create an income online. And other than that, I hope you take care, take charge, and have an amazing day on purpose. Why? Because you deserve it.